everybody, it's Chris from the Evermore Podcast, Newcastle United Podcast, and the Evermore YouTube channel. We're back with another match preview, really. It doesn't get any easier in the Premier League. Every game's hard, but this is possibly the hardest game I think we'll play all season. We're taking on Manchester City at St James's Park this Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. I'm going to be there with PK, our very own Evermore PK. So we're going to get stuck in really just a little bit of a thought process as to how I think we're going to line up, how I think the game's going to go, and then just, a little bit of a score prediction as well. We will be doing a post-match review, but it's going to be a couple of days after probably, because we're going to be a bit more in depth with Mark's brilliant slides that he premiered on Evermore this Wednesday. But just before we get stuck in, a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come on board. We're very close to 1,700 subscribers now, so thank you so much to everybody who's hit the button and obviously left a lovely comment as well. We really appreciate it. We really enjoyed doing it. And every time you hit that button, it really helps the channel grow. Hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any videos like a pre-match preview like this, or reviews, or even the weekly podcast as well. So listen, without further ado, let's get stuck in. We know we've got a really difficult game on our hands on Sunday. Manchester City have started really well. There's no doubt all eyes will be on their new signing, their big number 9, Erling Haaland, the Norwegian meat stack, as Troy Hawk called him. Our brilliant comedian. If you haven't seen that already, check that out. But yeah, it's going to be a really difficult game. There's a few subplots in there as well, which we didn't even realize until we started talking about it the other day, actually, on the Evermore podcast. So obviously we've got Erling Haaland. I think that Botman will start. We're going to get into the lineup in a second, but I think Sven Botman will start, and it'll be really interesting to see how he copes with Haaland. I mean, Haaland's in my fantasy team, probably like everybody else's as well, to be fair. He started really well, scored 2 great goals in his first game against Bournemouth, and then obviously didn't score in the hammering. I beg it wasn't against, it was West Ham. Sorry, then it was Bournemouth. Didn't score against Bournemouth, but did have an assist, and he just looks a hell of a player. He's so fast, he's strong, he's a great finisher. He's one of the best number 9s that we've seen in generations, really. So it'll be really interesting to see him at St James's Park. See how he gets on. A big test for Botman and our defence as well. It's not going to be an easy game for them. I really think that Eddie Howe will have one mind defensively on this, I think, as opposed to the lineup that started against Brighton. So we might as well get stuck into that firstly before we talk about the other subplots. So looking at how I think we're going to line up, this is how I think we're going to line up. So I smashed this together with thanks to toonarmy.com's app. So thanks to him. Definitely download that, guys, if you can. That's a great app. So you can see the starting lineup that I've gone for. I think Matty Targett will come back from his dead leg. Unless he's getting kicked really hard. But I think he'll be back at left back. I think Botman will keep his place. Obviously, the other 3 kind of pick themselves. Nick Pope will start again. Trippier right back and captain alongside Fabian Schär. I think that's how we'll go in the midfield. I've gone slightly different. I've gone for Sean Longstaff over Joe Willock. I think with Sean Longstaff is a bit more defensively disciplined than Joe Willock. Joe Willock was poor against Brighton, but I think everybody was poor. But I think with Sean's capable of drop and sit in. He's had good games in the past against City as well. So he can do that. He can sit a bit deeper, maybe try and frustrate De Bruyne on the ball. Maybe, take those runs of either Bernardo Silva or, a Jack Grealish, the poor man's David Beckham, or whoever it may be, kind of dropping into that midfield. Joe Linton and Bruno will play as well. Bruno, fresh from speculation that Real Madrid want him. No chance. Absolutely no chance. They're going to get Bruno Guimaraes. He is here to stay for years to come. We're going to build this side around him. But we need those two to have a really good game. Bruno and Joe Linton, I think for them to have a good game, that's probably the only chance we've really got to win this game, I think, in the midfield. If they can stifle the likes of your De Bruynes and your Silvas and all the other superstars that are in there as well, your Gundigans, whoever plays, they're world-class players. But if Joe Linton and Bruno can have good games, then, that puts us in a really good platform. And up front, we're looking at, obviously, wide ASM and Miggy alongside Callum Wilson. Really, we haven't got any new signings to cover that attacking berth. We know we're threadbare on that, but that's how I think we'll line up come 4:30 on Sunday. And just on Miggy as well, that's a bit of a subplot as well that everyone seems to forget about. Obviously, Jack Grealish, we all know at the end of the season, got pissed up. He was celebrating the title. Fair play to him. He decided to mug Miggy Almiron off for no reason, really. I think it was pretty low blow for a fellow professional to mug somebody off like that. Jack Grealish does a lot of nice things. He collects a charity, he spends time with handicapped children, and all these lovely things he does. And I'm sure he's a nice fella, but he's maybe one of them guys that when he has a beer, he acts like a bit of a prick. And that was a low blow. That was a bit of a bad one. So I think the Newcastle fans will have a special surprise for Jack Grealish from the stands, I'm sure, when he's there. I'm going to try and get the chant started. You just to shite David Beckham. We'll see how much legs that carries through the stadium. But War Flags have already indicated they're going to do a Miggy display. So I think that's a great one from the guys to show the belief in Miggy Almiron. And I really hope Miggy has a great game. We tweeted this as well. If Miggy scores, we hope he does a Scott Brown in-your-face celebration against El Hadji Diouf. That would just be absolutely superb. I don't think Miggy's got that in him, maybe, but yeah, I'd really love Miggy to have a great game, win it for us, and really shite Jack Grealish up for that shithouse comment that he said. But going back to the game, it is going to be a really difficult game. I just don't know where we'll win the game, to be fair. I think, as I said, then the midfield need to be strong. The back four definitely need to be disciplined. Leave less gaps like we did against Brighton. As Mark pulled up on his slides on Wednesday night, there was some real simple runs that weren't tracked. I think Dyer mentioned it as well. Players not passing their players on, players left with two players, and you can't make that mistake against a team of the quality of City that will tear you to pieces. There's a good chance we could be brilliant in this game and still lose this game, because that's how good Manchester City are. But if you're going to get anything out of a game against City or Liverpool, I know Liverpool are a bit wobbly at the moment, but City look very, very good, very disciplined. Haaland looks like he's added a dynamic thing that we knew he would. You've got to be on top of your game against these guys. So hopefully the lads can turn up on Sunday and we can all, be kind of 8 or 9s out of 10s really to try and get something out of the game, because that's the only chance that we really have, to be pretty honest with you. So looking at the other elements of the game, I think tactically, I think we'll try and play defensively. I think we'll try and absorb a bit of pressure from City. I think we'll sit deep a bit, maybe try and catch him on the break with Miggy and ASM's pace, if that's something that the lads can do. We need ASM to have a good game. He was really poor against Brighton. He was decent against Forest. He had little spells where he was okay, but against Forest, he was against Brighton, he was really, really poor. He had one of them games where he was trying stupid things and losing the ball and putting us under pressure. If he does that against this top, we will be absolutely annihilated. We've already said on numerous shows, the transfer window, we need to bring quality in. Obviously, there's more talk about João Pedro. I know my feelings about that. A lot of Newcastle fans are the same. I'm not massively excited, but at least he would give you a different dynamic off the bench to what we have right now. If we're struggling in this game, or even if we look like we could nick it, you bring on Chris Wood. He's not really going to do anything, to be honest with you. So we need Callum Wilson at his best as well, against a really, really strong back four from Manchester City. But how do we stack up against them in terms of previous fixtures? So we'll pull this one up, just have a little look at it. So you can see there, the last 44 Premier League games head-to-head at St James's Park, we've won 8 of them. City have won 28, which shouldn't surprise anybody, because City went from being shitty to to one of the best teams in the world. We've scored 40 goals. They scored 92. So again, that shows you the issues that we had scoring goals over the years. 8 clean sheets versus 20 of theirs. And the last 5 games that we've had at St James's Park, we've lost 1-0, won 2-1, which was, I think, that Matt Ritchie pen, that Longstaff one. We drew 2s each, which I think was the Shelby Screamer and the De Bruyne Worldie. Then we got beat 4-3, and then we got beat 4-0 last season. So to be fair, when you're looking at that versus a team like Manchester City, that's actually not a bad kind of past 5 games, to be really honest with you. A little bit of everything in there. But yeah, it is going to be a tough game. We can't open them too much. They'll just with the pace they've got, with the skill, with the endeavour, with the strength of Haaland at the helm now of their attack. They're a very, very dangerous outfit. I'm really excited to see how Sven Botman does against Haaland. I know I said that at the start, but he looked so accomplished in pre-season. He looked very, very good against Brighton. There was a couple of times where I think he probably could have picked up a run or two. I think Dyer pointed that out as well, but that's a learning curve. It's a different league from League On. Players are a lot more dangerous. They find space a lot easier in the Premier League. They're very mobile, strong, quick. So he's going to take a little time to adapt to the league. But this will be a massive test to see how good this lad actually is. If he manages somehow to keep Erling Haaland in his pocket for the 90 minutes, for example, we could have an absolute superstar centre-half in our hands here. It's a little bit harsh on Dan Burn. I know I've dropped him there. Unless Eddie Howe puts him at left-back, I think as good as he was defensively, he was poor going forward. And I think if Matty Target's fit, as we said in the show, you've got to put Matty Target back in the squad. But I think Botman did enough next to Shaw to probably force himself a start in this game. We kind of held comparisons up to Bruno, the way Eddie slowly bled Bruno into the squad. But I think it was the Southampton game, it was a changing point for Bruno. We scored that back heel and he just looked brilliant. I think Botman almost did enough in that Brighton game to show that he can step into a Premier League starting back four and belong in there and actually look kind of head and shoulders above a lot of the players that are in that back four. So yeah, I think definitely that'll be the starting lineup. Let us know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. And we'll obviously see come Sunday what the starting lineup is going to be. Really excited about it. It's a bit of a free hit in my eyes. Obviously I want to get something out of the game. We're unbeaten so far in the Premier League, 1 win and a draw. Yet to concede a goal, which is great for Nick Pope and the new look back four compared to the one that we started last season with, which was less said about that the better. Really, it's like a bad nightmare you want to forget. But yeah, this is a great test for us to see how far we've come in such a short time. It also shows you kind of how far away you are from probably where you want to be. City didn't get here overnight. It was a long process. We all watched it kind of roll out in front of us. But yeah, it'll be a really exciting game, I think, for the neutrals in particular. To see how we kind of stack up against this Manchester City side. But as I said on Wednesday, I'm not going to write off our obituary straight away because, with that atmosphere, with war flags in attendance, with the crowd being the way they are, I just think that St James's Park is a really intimidating place to play football now. It's not, come grab 3 points and run away like teams used to be. It's a really tough place for players to come, and I don't care how good you are. Pep Guardiola, best manager in the world, arguably the best manager of all time in some people's eyes. His players, world-class players, will walk into any 11. They'll come out of that atmosphere and they'll think, this is a bit tasty, isn't it, compared to what it used to be? So yeah, if the crowd can get up and we can all get behind the lads, and just keep that atmosphere booming, try and intimidate, City players when they're on the ball and stuff like that, like we did in that Arsenal game, I think that, we might have a chance of getting something. Pragmatically, I still think we'll probably get beat because I just think Manchester City are light years ahead of anyone in this league, to be honest with you. Even Liverpool right now and Chelsea, I think they're light years ahead of them, which is probably in Spurs, which is probably the only other teams that can get anywhere near them. But it should be an interesting game for sure. Like I say, it's for the neutral, it'll be a great watch. I'm looking forward to going as well and sampling the atmosphere. And then Mark and I will be back to do our post-match review about it. It'll probably come out maybe Tuesday morning. So keep an eye on the channel for that. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't, please smash the button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that are coming up, whether it be these videos, the pop-ups that we have with reviews, previews, transfers, or whether it just be the weekly podcast every Monday and Wednesday, what's going on and Evermore. So yeah, keep it Evermore, guys. We'll keep supporting that team. We'll call United. Let's look forward to Sunday. Don't fear it. Let's just embrace it, see how we get on, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.